Ladies and gentlemen, to those among you who are easily frightened, we suggest you turn away now. To those of you who think they can take it, we say, welcome to the madhouse.
Welcome to the madhouse. My name's Jimmy. Let's get this show on the road. How are you doing, Joseph?
I'm good, Jimmy. Thank you very much for asking. How are you?
Yeah, marvellous.
Excellent. So, The Haunting.
Yes.
Is that the intro we're going to go with?
Yeah, that's the intro we're going to go with.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was your choice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was my choice.
Do you want to tell the lovely people out in the world what it was?
Now, I want to tell the horrible people out in the world who listen to our podcast what it was. And it was The Haunting from 1963, directed by Robert Wise. Not as good as I remembered it.
Nah.
I think nostalgia took over, and also the fact that it's classed as a classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. The Haunting, 1963. What did you think just give us a first impression?
It will give you a full first impression because it was the first time that I'd watched it.
Okay.
It's a bit of a slow burn.
Yep.
Not a lot happens.
Nope.
It's based on the book Haunting of Hill House.
Yep.
And obviously, in more recent minds, we have just had the TV show Haunting of Hill House.
Uh-huh.
Which we know was fucking amazing.
Yes. Much better.
So, yes. And, so it was much better. But I think this one is more closer to the book than the TV show.
Yeah, the TV show kind of did a lot different to I haven't read the book, by the way. This is all from just
I haven't. I haven't read the book either.
So they did a lot different from the book. The film is more similar to the book, but still had a lot changed. I want to read the book, basically, so I can do all the criticism.
Yeah, it's nice in the TV show. They have the same characters' names, don't they?
Yeah.
We've got Nell, we got Theo, we got Luke.
Yep.
They're all they're siblings in the TV show, but in this they're strangers.
Yeah, and
also, oh, go on. No,
you
go.
You go. No, you're on one. Go for
no,
it.
No, it's fine. No, I was going to say something completely different.
Oh well, I was just gonna say, in the film and the TV series, they had a couple of things from the book that I like that have kind of gone through all of them. One is a woman hanging themselves from the spiral metal staircase.
Fucking amazing.
Happens in the TV series, Haunting of Hill House, in The Haunting, and originally in the book. Also, the noticing of cold spots in the house where there's a ghost. Pretty original idea originally for the book, has been brought into the Haunting film and into the Haunting of Hill House.
Yes.
And
now
the statues
I feel
in the orange. Sorry, just the statues in the orangery are in. I don't know if they're in the book, but they're in both the film and the TV series.
Lovely. I was just going to say that I feel like I'm sat in my own cold spot of my flat because it's very cold where I'm sat at the minute. I don't think it's haunted. I think it's because one, Nat's a cheapskate and she doesn't turn the heater on in this room.
Tell me
she keeps
about
the door
it.
shut. Yeah, she keeps the door shut. So
not with Nat. I'm not saying tell me about it with Nat. I'm saying it's the same in this house. I'm always like, just whack the heating on for half an hour. It's freezing.
Yeah, but this room that I'm in right now, it doesn't get heated. It's ice cold anytime you walk in.
Oh, okay.
And it's not haunted, which is a shame. Anyway, we should probably get on with something, shouldn't we?
It's usually the plot slot first, but
Okay.
you seem undecided as to what it is we should be getting on with straight away.
Oh no, I was just saying, should we get on with something?
Yeah, you are hinting.
What are you
to
doing?
get
You
on with
playing
it.
a game?
No, I'm not playing on my phone. I'm setting the timer because we're about to go plot slot, aren't we?
Ah, are you playing Tetris or something?
Yeah, I just text everyone when I'm talking to you. I just let you ramble on this podcast while I talk to my mates on text. Anyway, you're gonna start the plot slot, yeah?
No,
Cool.
I'm gonna storm out in a rage.
All right, well then I'll pause recording and then it will seamlessly transition into you starting the plot slot like you never stormed out in a rage, okay?
Yeah, next Thursday.
Yeah, but in podcast land it'll be like a second because of editing.
Yeah.
Right, so you storm out.
Oh God!
And we're back. Right, are you ready? You start off with your first paragraph, yeah? In
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom.
Dr. John Markway narrates the history of the 90-year-old Hill House, which was constructed in Massachusetts by Hugh Crane as a home for his wife. She died when her carriage mysteriously crashed against a tree as she approached the house for the first time. Crane remarried, but his second wife died in the house from a bizarre fall down the stairs.
I like the fact you've written bizarre because that was the most bizarre thing in the film, that fall down the stairs.
Yeah, she was probably pissed.
That was great. I mean, we'll probably come back to it, but geez, she fell down those stairs like she was turning around looking for the mat while screaming and
Yes.
trying to faint. There was all sorts going on.
Terrible actress, basically.
Yeah. Crane's daughter, Abigail, lived in the house for the rest of her life, never moving out of the nursery. She died calling for her nurse companion. The companion inherited the house, but later hanged herself from a metal spiral staircase in the library. Hill House was eventually inherited by a Mrs. Sanderson, although it has stood empty for some time.
Markway wishes to study the reported paranormal activity at Hill House. He is allowed to begin his investigations on condition that he has Mrs. Sanderson's heir, Luke Sanderson, come with him. Among several prospective choices, only 2 individuals accept Markway's invitation to join the investigation: a psychic, Theodora, and Eleanor Lance, who experienced poltergeist activity as a child. Eleanor spent her adult life caring for her invalid mother, whose recent death has left Eleanor with severe guilt.
Yeah, she only feels guilty because she's happy she's dead.
Yeah, of course.
No, don't blame her. The group find the mansion's walls were constructed with awkward angles, resulting in off-center perspectives and doors that open and close by themselves. The library contains the spiral staircase from which the previous owner hanged herself. During the first night in the house, Eleanor and Theo are terrified by supernatural occurrences outside Theo's bedroom door.
Banging is heard against the door, and the voice of a young girl is heard echoing with laughter. Despite this, Eleanor feels attached to Hill House. The team explores the house the next day, discovering a cold spot outside the nursery door. Luke is convinced this is just a draft. Following another night of loud disturbances, the team discover the words "Help Eleanor come home" scrawled on a wall, which causes Eleanor more distress.
That night, Theo moves into Eleanor's room and they fall asleep in the same bed. Eleanor is awakened by the sound of a man speaking indistinctly and a woman laughing. Fearful, Eleanor asks Theo to hold her hand and soon she feels a crushing grip. As Eleanor hears the sound of a young girl crying, she shouts at whoever is causing the child pain. Theo awakens to find that Eleanor has moved from the bed to the sofa and realizes it was not Theo's hand she was holding at all.
The following day, Dr. Markway's wife, Grace, arrives at Hill House to warn Dr. Mark. I'm sure she probably doesn't call him Dr. Markway. Anyway, that a reporter has learned of his investigations there. Grace announces that she plans to join the group for the duration of the investigation and demands a room in the nursery, despite her husband's warning that it is likely the heart of the disturbances.
That's a load of bollocks, isn't it? How many
Yeah.
rooms are in that house, and she chooses the one they tell her not to have?
She seems like a bit of a handful, Grace.
Yes.
Dr. Markway must have a very, very good patience because she seems like a very strong lady.
Yeah, but also he's running off investigating ghosts all the time, so they're probably just
With
shit
the-
for each other.
Yeah, with 2 young ladies.
Yeah, what an excuse.
He has got that sexy tash though. Bet that's getting loads of mustache rides.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
That's tickling some legs, isn't it?
Yep. Not Theo and Eleanor, though, because they might be gay.
Well, definitely one of them is.
That night, the group experiences loud banging. Oh, there he is. He's off on one mark, waiting. And an unforeseen force attempting to force its way through the living room in which they are staying. The banging then proceeds to move towards the nursery. Fuck. Where sounds of destruction are heard. Eleanor runs towards the source and discovers Grace is missing. The next morning, Eleanor's mental instability worsens as she enters the library and climbs the dilapidated spiral staircase. Once she reaches the top, Grace appears at the trapdoor, startling Eleanor, who nearly falls to her death when she is rescued by Dr. Markway.
Who cops a feel, doesn't he?
Does he?
Yeah, he cops a right feel on her.
Did he do
When he
the...
grabs her back and they're just standing there and he's staring at her
yeah.
like, you know, waving his tash about, like, you want a bit of this now?
Do you think he can make his tash dance like people can make their pecs dance?
Yeah, of course. You
Like,
just look at the magnificent tash and you just want to sit on it, I think.
it's a Terry
Back in the
Crews tash.
60s. Yeah. Yeah. Markway becomes alarmed at Eleanor's obsession with Hill House in spite of the dangers it poses. Eleanor pleads to stay while Markway insists that she leave. Eleanor then drives off and speeds down towards the front gates. The steering wheel moves as she struggles to regain control, but then surrenders to the unseen force.
Grace appears from behind a tree and steps in front of the car, leading Eleanor to steer into the tree, causing her death at last. I can speak for all of us, I think, when I say at last.
Yes.
Luke observes
Thank
that
God.
a death as well, like one death. Jesus. Luke observes that Eleanor deliberately aimed the car at the tree, but Markway asserts that something was in the car with her, because obviously he'd know that from a car crash. Imagine turning up to a car crash and going, I'm sensing there was a ghost in the car with her. And then
She wasn't incredibly distressed that I tried to touch her up whilst my wife was in the house, and that's exactly why she's fleeing. It's not because there's ghosts, it's because Dr. Markway's got wandering hand syndrome.
It's a bit touchy-feely.
Yeah.
And she's like, nah, fuck this. Hanging out
Pulled
with
it.
Markway, the lesbian who keeps blatantly trying it on, and the, 16-year-old boy who just keeps banging on about his inheritance in front of me like it's supposed to impress me.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Markway, noting that the tree was also the one that killed Mrs. Crane. Thea remarks that Eleanor got what she wanted after all, to remain with the Hill House forever. I think she may be missing the point.
Oh, you didn't use my punctuation very well there.
Sorry. Thea remarks that Eleanor got what she wanted after all, to remain with the house, Hill House, forever.
Thank you. Hey! Woo!
Yeah, that's another plot slot done with 2 minutes left. Same as last time, pretty much. Sweet, we're nailing this.
Right. So, should we now just talk about the deep down sexual tension between Theo and Nell?
Sure.
Well, no, no, we could just spell it out. If Theo wants a bit of Nell, I don't know if Nell's involved. Do you reckon? Do you reckon she'd go for it?
I'd
So,
probably...
Batty, she might.
Well, I don't know. I think they were supposed to be sexually attracted to each other, but it was 1963, so I ended up having more of a friendship sleepover relationship.
When was the book written?
I think it was like 61. Like, only it wasn't that long before. less than 5
Oh,
years before
okay.
the film, I would say. The film censors apparently kept demanding that Theo never be shown to actually touch Eleanor, so the lesbianism was less obvious. But
Yeah.
this, I mean, they definitely touched, and it was a bit obvious that Theo wanted a bit of Nell. And Nell even said something about her being unnatural at one point, didn't she? Saying this house is and discovering things unnatural like you, and it could have been the fact that she was a mind reading weirdo, or it could have been the fact she was a lesbian and it was the 60s and they thought it was unnatural.
Yeah. But then that's quite interesting because isn't Theo in the TV series? She's a lesbian, isn't she? And she doesn't like to touch things
What TV series?
either. Hill House.
Nope, I don't know.
Haunting of Hill House. Theo in that is gay as well.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant the actress Theo was in something else where she was also gay.
No,
okay.
I'm talking about the character in Haunting of Hill House.
Yes,
because
she's
gay in that, isn't she?
Yeah.
And she wears gloves, but it's because like she doesn't like to touch.
Oh yeah, I wonder.
I don't know. Maybe that's something that you just they just put that in there.
Yeah, because Theo in The Haunting was told not to touch it too much, and I could see the Haunting of Hill House people. They obviously did a lot of research, so they could have come across the same shit we come across and decide to incorporate it. But yeah, nice catch. Are you ready for some frights and delights? What are you doing on camera to me now?
Catch
Oh, fuck's sake. I say nice catching. Jimmy has to simulate catching things on camera. Right, and that's a perfect segue, I guess, for frights and delights. Obviously, what could be better?
Right, let's get at it. It's frights and delights. What you got? I'm playing the intros very simple this week.
No, I'm not used to it.
Is it throwing you off a bit?
Yeah, you went like straight in and done. There was no traveling to the bar, no walking down the train, no, all the usual.
Yeah, I've gone straight through it.
Yeah.
Cutting it right in. Boom. Have it.
I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. throwing me off my game. Right, okay. Director Robert Wise read a review of the book The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, and after reading the book decided to get the rights to the film. He asked the author, Shirley Jackson, if she had ever considered any other name for the book that he could use for the film. She said the only one she had ever really thought of had been The Haunting, and that's what he went with the film.
Why didn't he just call it The Haunting of Hill House?
Because it's 1963, and all films are called The Boo, or The Blob, or The Thing, or something like that.
The Howling.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Thing didn't come out in 1960s, but...
Well, you know what I mean. I said The Thing in a general covering for The Thing, not the actual film The Thing, but yeah, I recognise my mistake now. So, yeah, I agree with you. Film name doesn't matter at all now, really. Get the point across.
No, because the Haunting of Hill House is a great name.
Yeah.
Maybe it was too close to House on Haunted Hill. I don't know.
When did House on Haunted Hill come out?
Oh, I think possibly around the same time, maybe a little bit before.
Yeah, I mean we've done that film, haven't we? We should probably know between us.
So maybe they got in first. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they got in first with that full title.
Yeah. Good film, that, though. We'll review it again one day.
Yeah, maybe the remake.
So, Russ Tamblyn, the guy who played Luke, only took on the role because MGM threatened to end his contract. If he didn't. He didn't want to take it on.
He didn't want to take it on?
He didn't want the job. Obviously thought he was a bit too much of a I don't know. I would say big name, but I never heard of Russ Tamblyn. I don't know. He was giving it a bit of this, bit of that, thinking he could probably get a bit better jobs, bigger roles, be the Hollywood man, the hero.
Wisecracker.
Maybe, but he didn't want to take on this job, was refusing it, and he had to threaten to end his contract with MGM. Because in those days, you were under contract with the studios. Do you know how it used to work?
Right. Okay.
MGM
Yeah.
would have their load of actors who were hired by MGM to work for MGM, and they'd work on whatever films they told them to or whatever. Instead of these days where actors just work for the freelance, basically, whichever studio wants them next.
Yeah. Oh, he was in West Side Story.
Oh, yes, he was. Yeah.
He was Riff in West Side Story.
Okay.
So maybe that's why he got a bit of a head on him. That
West Side
was in
Story was after this, though, wasn't it?
1961.
Oh, was it?
No, it was 1961. I'm looking
fair
now.
enough. All right, okay. Oh, right. But yeah, he later said that it was his best role, or one of his best roles.
What?
I know, load of
This
bollocks.
one that he played in The Haunting.
It's apparently.
He said this was his best role.
No, he said it was one of his best roles. Maybe it challenged him more. I don't know. I don't care.
Okay, so
His words.
one of his best roles. The other one was West Side Story.
Yeah.
2 years before.
The third was the school at his high school play, and then he retired after this.
I think he was in Twin Peaks.
All right. Did I say the school at his high school
the
play?
series.
I went to play at his high
Yeah.
school. Anyway, Twin Peaks he was in, was he?
I think so. The TV series. I think he was in that.
What's that, a TV series about boobs? Never seen
I
it.
I turned into one of Beavis and Butthead.
Because I'm the other one, and you're just filling the gap.
No, it's not about boobs.
Okay, I never seen.
But I'm sure you
Peaks.
could find a film somewhere on the internet called Twin Peaks that is about lovely jubblies.
Yeah, I'm guessing you could. Yeah.
Bro.
Anyway, The Haunting of Hill House was rewritten for the screen by Nelson Gidding. His original spin of the story, and I quite like this, so I want to know what you think.
Okay.
His original spin on the book was that Eleanor was an insane woman who had been sent to an insane asylum, and this was all happening in the head of a mental patient. The other characters were the staff and the other patients, and all the noises and knockings going on were the result of her shock treatment therapy occurring in the real world outside her head.
That's good. When was this? When was that? When was that guy? When did that guy think of that idea?
Well, this was his idea for The Haunting, the film, but that idea was removed after discussions with the author, Shirley Jackson. So it sounds like she talked him out of it.
This was before they actually did the film that we've just watched.
Yeah, that was an idea he had for the film we just watched.
Okay, because that's quite
better.
It is better, and it is quite. It feels like that's got a more. That's kind of a film that you would see nowadays.
That would that would be more of a like The Haunting. For some reason, this is a big classic people hold up, but it would be still something I think that people talk about and watch now more than The Haunting is, because it would a bit of a Shyamalan twist at the end.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that idea better.
Yeah, I preferred that. I read that and I thought, well, I should have gone with that. I mean, that was pretty good, especially when you have that moment of realization. And the film kind of plays like that anyway. You watch the film and you don't see the ghosts, you don't see anything. You just have this knocking going on that everyone's really scared of. It would have made sense if it was outside her head and she was driving herself a bit more insane inside her own head and delusions.
Yeah, I kind of think that maybe Mr. and Mrs. Dudley, maybe they were ghosts. Do you know what I mean? You're getting that vibe. You know, the caretakers.
Okay, yeah.
Do you remember them? At the start, he lets her in. Mr. Dudley lets her in, and then she's the woman. She's like, "Oh, we don't stay here after dark. Your breakfast will be served at 9. I clear up at 10, and I'm off. I don't want to be here after dark." I thought, oh, maybe a little bit of a twist that they could be dead, and we see that in like Haunting of Bly Manor. Don't want to give too much away if people haven't seen it, but spoiler alert: one of them is one or more of them are dead already.
Yeah, and if you haven't worked it out by the end of the first or second episode,
But do you know?
that happens
Do you know
in
what
the
I'm saying?
Haunting a Hill House, doesn't it? Aren't there people who do not stay? They work
Yes,
there.
of course there are. Yeah. There are. Yeah.
People
Yeah.
who work there who don't stay past dark.
Yeah.
I got one more frightened delight.
All right. Lovely.
No, I haven't. I've already said it. I've got no more frightened delights. It was about the lesbian and the touching thing, but it came up earlier, so I whacked it in there. What are we gonna do?
Oh, terrible turn of phrase.
What?
Whacked it in there.
Yeah. And that is another, if I may say, brilliant segue for us to mosey on over to the Master of the Macabre.
Beautiful.
Master of the Macabre.
Welcome to the Master of the Macabre. We usually choose our best actor or actress in this segment, but today I guess we're going to decide whose performance we found the least haunting.
Oh.
I've got nowhere else to go with this. Whose we find the least haunting? That's it. Have you got
Okay.
any choices, Jimmy? Because if I'm completely honest with you, I have not filled in this section of my notes.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a little rundown.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. I have a drink while
I
you...
don't have. Well, actually, I probably do. It's probably going to be literally the one that I find least annoying.
The least haunting,
So-
you might say.
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course, the least haunting. So there's 4 in the list. We've got Russ Tamblyn, who played Luke Sanderson. Just wisecracking. I like the fact that there's a couple of times where he just pops downstairs because he wants to get a drink, and it's clearly like 1:30 a.m. He just pops down for a whiskey.
It's basically a free bar, though, isn't it, down there? So
Yeah. Anyway, he's an annoying prick. Anyway, I don't think he should get it. Theodora, played by Claire Bloom. She didn't really do anything. Do you know what I mean? She's
Yep.
just sort of there. She didn't really get
she
involved.
had
much.
to say her lines with a slight air of mystery, as in, I'm guessing what you're feeling right now every time. So you could go now, I'm feeling rather, and I can go, pissed, and you go, genius, you're reading my mind.
Yeah.
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 Amazing. Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
Congratulations.
Well done.
But she played the character all right.
Yeah.
Julie Harris, who played Nell Lance. Now, I don't know about you,
Shit.
but I could not stand it. Anytime she was on the fucking screen, I cannot stand it. She's all over the place. She's absolutely mental. Like all over the place. One minute she's like fine, and then she's shouting and hysterical. I suppose it's supposed to be like that, but it just comes across as terrible acting and a very, very annoying character.
Tell you what I find very, very annoying is the voiceover.
Which one at the start?
No, her internal monologue that we hear.
Oh fuck! Yes! Oh god! Yes!
So irritating.
Yes! Absolutely. Yeah.
It feels like bad voice acting as well. Not just that it's a bad decision, which it is, but it's bad. It feels like bad voice acting, and I know what you mean about her jumping from one state to another. And yeah, that is a character thing. She's mental, but it feels like, I don't know. It feels like bad acting. Like she's like, I'm fine. No, wait, no, I'm not fine. And then internal monologue. Does Markway love me? After 2 days, I should stay in this house forever, shouldn't I? Should I? No, maybe. Mummy,
Yeah.
it's mental.
But and she was like that with Theo as well.
Yeah,
Like she'd be really happy with Theo for a second, and then something would happen, and she'd be like, "Don't touch me! No, don't touch me!"
Yeah.
and she'd go crazy at her. But then poor Theo, the next day, she would go up to her and just be like, oh, like be everything as normal, not like, oh, you just kicked me out of bed last night.
Yeah, so
And everything would be back to normal in the morning, and Nell would be acting all fine, and everyone would be all right about her, and Nell would be going in her head, oh, yes, oh, I hope I didn't offend anyone last night, but this house, it has this hold over me. Ooh, tea, lovely. Oh my God, Theo! Just mental.
It
It's
is like that,
fucking
yeah.
all over the shop.
But it's not even that. It's like Theo says something about, yeah, you were a bit odd last night, but it's fine. Odd? Why don't you just all tell me you hate me and I'll fuck off home, you cunt? It's like, wow,
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus, like, calm down. Like, you did kick someone last night, basically, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far we've got to maybe not Harris.
No, I'm not.
You were telling me
Oh.
who you were doing your rundown of Master and the Macabre prospects, and you haven't done them all yet, I don't think.
Well, yeah, this is the only one I've got is the last one now is Richard Johnson, who played Dr. Markway. That's all I can boil it down to. I think his acting was good.
I haven't
Do you know
made
what I
any
mean?
notes, but he is the only person who did, I think, a good job.
Yeah. He's in a couple of bangers as well.
All right, go on then. What else is he in?
He's done some good. He's done some good stuff. Tales of the Unexpected. He was in.
Yeah, okay,
He was in the Monster Club,
nice.
which Headstone Horrors have a song called Monster Club after this film.
Monster, like 1985, 87 Monster Club, isn't it?
81, very close. Yeah.
Is it 81?
Zombie Flesh Eaters. He was in, which is good.
We
Murder,
don't play
She Wrote.
Monster Club anymore, do we?
Nah, it's because it's shit.
Oh, okay. So you just plugged it.
Plugged
and then
it,
told
plugged
everyone
it,
it was
fucked
shit.
it. Plugged it and fucked it.
If you want to hear one of our shit songs, go listen to Monster Club. I'm struggling to. I can't even remember it, to be honest. Right now.
Nah, we got better ones. Anyway, I think Anis Tash just fucking steals the show, and he's got like that smooth '60s voice, and he.
So we're gonna give it to him or it's Tash or a joint.
Half and half, I reckon.
Yeah.
I mean, they're attached, so we could send him a big trophy, and we could send him his Tash a little tiny one.
Okay, let's do that.
Put it there.
Yeah, put that.
Pop it there up his nose, and he can hold it like that.
Or you could put it on the shelf, like you probably will do with the other trophy.
Yeah, put it on his lip shelf where he keeps his mustache.
Yeah, right. Okay. It's not a real trophy, so this conversation is pointless. It's a mental thought we send out into the world, and hope that the deceased actors that we give it to somehow know they've won.
Actors
or actresses.
or
you're doing actors in.
Actresses.
Okay, yeah. He was all right. He was all right.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. He was in Tomb Raider as well, the shit one.
They're all shit. Which one?
Whoa there, Tiger. Whoa there. Whoa there. The shit one with Angelina Jolie. The other one, the newer one, it's good.
Oh, I've not seen the newer one. Didn't know there was a newer one.
Oh, watch it. And you need to play all the new games because they're fucking banging.
I shall.
Good story, good action.
Good. I might do. Instead of playing Red Dead.
What?
What?
Go on, carry on. I didn't hear.
Instead of playing, I was about to play Red Dead for the second time through. Red Dead 2.
Okay. Yeah, fair play.
But maybe I should play something new.
See the UFO?
Did I see the UFO? Oh, in Red Dead? Yeah, I did. You go out to that hut and then there's like some sacrifices inside and it turns down and then goes away and it's over forever and aliens never come back. And it's sad. That's the main story, isn't it? The rest of it's just filler.
Yes.
Right, are you ready to do some rating?
Do some what?
Rating.
Rating, yes.
Fucking hell, Jimmy. Yes, I just saw where you were going with that. Yes, rating.
Yeah, boy! Rating. With a T.
The Madhouse.
Oh, here we go. It's the Madhouse rating system. And you know what? First up, as always, is tension and suspense.
So you may have noticed the whole film is set inside a house.
Yes. Or a mansion.
A mansion, as the French would say, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, it's French.
I have
It's
no
French,
idea.
isn't it? It's French with big house. Mansion.
Is that a man with big house? Man, C means with big, and yon is house. Mansion.
Yeah, French, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mansion.
So Robert Wise, the director, played on the fact that a small group of strangers were spending time trapped together in creepy rooms. And he purposefully amplified those claustrophobic tones of the film with camera shots and positioning of actors to increase the tension and drama within the story. I don't have much to say on tension and suspense because it was a very simple film.
Yeah.
But one thing that I will, in fact, there's a few things I'll give credit for. Camera shots were good,
Absolutely fantastic.
especially of the house. Camera
Yep.
technique. There were shots way ahead of the time with the different lenses blurring. There was one where it was panning right to left, and they obviously had a distortion kind of lensy thing on. I don't know anything about cameras, by the way. You may know
Yeah.
from this description, but it distorted the shot, and a lot of thought went into it. And I suspect in 1963 that had a lot of an effect because it wasn't as easy to do shit then as it is now. So the whole set was designed to throw you off, and the set was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
In fact, it should have won Master of the Macabre, but we've already done it. Set designers.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could do that posthumously.
Well, they're all dead, so. But that's all I got really for tension and suspense. I don't think the acting really built up much tension and suspense apart from Professor Marquay's speeches that he did, which put you in the house. They put you in that place.
Yeah, so back in the day, this was supposed to be like one of the spookiest films of the time, wasn't it? I don't think it has aged very well.
Would you know what rating it is now?
Now,
Yeah.
what I don't know, PG.
Well, it's a 12.
Oh, it's 12. Okay, I don't understand the rating system, but I don't understand our rating system either. Yeah.
No one does. That's the beauty of it. We can do whatever we want, and no one knows we did it well. We could have done it really well. We could have done it terribly, and no one knows. But anyway.
Okay, so yeah, I think for me, it all kind of just builds up to nothing.
Yeah.
I don't. It's a slow burner. I think most of the good tension happens in the last, I don't know, 15 minutes. Isn't it? Maybe.
Yeah. It had the set, it had the camera angles, good director.
Yeah.
Story was just lacking anything. And it was just one of those, the story could have been anything. Just whack 5 people in a house, trap them in, have some banging on the walls, and one of them going a bit mental, one of them scared, one of them gay, one of them young and after money, and one of them was the guy who was like, maybe if we think about it a bit more, the supernatural could lead us to the answers.
So I think there's probably there's hundreds more films that have done that better.
Yeah.
So I don't think.
Even looking at it from the point of view of the time that it was made, I feel.
Yeah.
Nah, half a point is my opinion.
I'd just say no.
Not
go on, it's your call. You're the big man on campus.
I'm not the big man on campus. I think it has to be a joint decision. I think I will argue my point basically that half a point is because the set was designed to and it's so good. But maybe that's in visual effects.
Yeah,
Alright,
that's
fuck
got
it,
nothing to
let's
do
give
with
it
the
a- yeah.
tension or suspense,
Yeah,
has it?
give it a 0 then. Give it all right 0.
0.
I bring it to the camp man on biggest. Wait, big man on campus, something like that. I don't know.
Big man on campus.
Camp man on biggest. Jimmy Fortner.
Right,
What's
next up we've got what is next? I fucking always forget the second one.
And I'll do it in your voice, and then no one will know the difference.
All right, go on then. Have a pop.
It's gore and visual effects.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So did you not realise that's exactly it? Or I may have been a bit off slightly with the accent and the voice and the tone.
No, apparently spot on.
Right, gore and visual effects. Was that you said, Jimmy? There.
Yes, it was. Yes, well done.
Hard to tell through that accent. So the fact the film is in black and white is the first thing you notice. I assumed a film in 1963 would have been colour because it was after the transition. But I guess it's in the period where some people were still transitioning from preferring one to another. Not transitioning like that, Jimmy. It was apparently an artistic choice made for the style of the film that they wanted to make. Or I'm incorrect in thinking that 1963 was the century of colour. Decade of colour.
Was it?
I feel like by the 60s, most shit was happening in colour, wasn't it?
Yeah, possibly, but I think it was. Didn't they film it and then color it? Was it colorized?
Oh shit, yeah, they did. We did talk about that in Night of the Living Dead. And no, we talked about how they colorized Night of the Living Dead when we did that from black and white.
Yeah, but I know. Yeah, I know they did that with House on Haunted Hill as well. I know they've done it with a few black and white films. So I'm not really sure when the full first color film. I don't know what the first color film was actually.
I don't know. Well, anyway, the first thing I realized starting it up, visual effect, black and white. When color was an option in '63, I'm not saying everyone was doing it. The shot of the house standing against the backdrop of the blurry dark sky that was used numerous times was made using, and I've never heard of this before, but an infrared film.
Ooh.
So I've heard about infrared, like a spectrometry that they use for astronomy. I don't know how they did it onto an infrared film. Obviously, it means that it films further into the spectrum of the red end of the scale, of the color scale.
Okay.
So I don't know how it was possible, but they did that to get an effect. But in black, maybe doing it and then having it in black and white gave it a certain effect. I had a bit of trouble understanding that one, but I came across it a few times. I guess you would need to know more about film. You know who would know? Zoe Heslop.
Who would? Yeah. Okay. Why?
Because she's doing a master's in filmy stuff.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Then.
So if you're listening, Zoe, email us about what infrared film is, because I have heard about, infrared telescopes, and I don't understand how it would work on film. Anyway, moving on. The house was an actual house in Warwickshire and provided all the exterior shots, whereas the interior shots were all on a soundstage. Many of the interior shots were shot with a lens that added the slight curve to the picture, adding a feeling of distortion to the film. And the shot up the spiral staircase. Do you know about this, Jimmy?
I don't know.
This is, I got two that I saved for the end of this section, which I think are pretty cool. So the spiral staircase shot, there was a shot where the camera went up the spiral staircase as Eleanor is walking up. And it's not just because it's a good shot, it's because they built a camera rig specifically to fit the balustrade of the spiral staircase they used. So it had like wheels that ran down it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And then they positioned it at the top and let it run all the way down while filming, and then reversed that film footage slowly to make it look like it was going up.
Ah.
Exactly.
Nice.
Is the correct word. So they got the required effect through doing that. Another one is a shot I noticed while watching the film that I have seen praised in another film I cannot remember the name of, but it's very modern film, and it is done better in the modern film. But there is a shot where Eleanor is running down a hallway towards the camera, screaming, going, "Oh no, Theo touched me," or something like that.
Yeah.
And she runs, and it turns out that the camera was shooting through a mirror, and she runs into the mirror. It's hard to explain.
Ah.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
She's running down,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
hits the mirror and the camera, and that was a really good shot. So, in terms of visual effect, that was a really good directorial choice.
Well, they actually did a lot of good things with mirrors. There was a lot of mirrors in quite a lot of the shots that in the background, and you could just catch the reflection of maybe a little part of the actors on the mirror in the background, and it sort of catches your eye for a little bit in the background. Like, oh, what was that? Oh, it's like, oh, it's a mirror. You could just see them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes you feel like maybe
Oh,
you're seeing something just out of eye shot.
yeah, it's like, oh, what was that? And it was like, there's loads of them in the shot, and I think they missed the trick with this because there was a lot of in Hill House. There's a lot of statues and stuff and busts of things, and they were in quite a lot of shots, and I think they missed out on maybe just have one shot and you could just see that little statue in the background, and then get in the next shot and the statue moved.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Just turned a little bit.
you're
I think they
thinking
mixed.
along the lines of modern expectations that I was thinking as well. I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
but I
Would have
think they
been
could have
really
done
good.
that in that. They could have just gone, oh look, we just pop that there for 1 minute, and then oh, pop it there for a minute.
Yeah, I agree with you. And they did a lot of that in the series, didn't they? Haunting a Hill House series.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff all over the place. And it was really good. But yeah, I know what you mean. A trick missed. But
Yeah.
they did use the mirrors to make it feel like that was there. Maybe.
Yeah.
What do you want to give it?
I want to give it a big. I'm gonna give it a big thumbs up
Okay.
or a star. It's a star, isn't it?
It is a star, this one, yeah. It was Dirty Nappies last week. A star this week. Who knows what it'll be next week? I don't know what your choice is.
Oh wow, it's a special one next week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you know it is.
Schmackshire.
Isn't it?
I thought it was.
Anyway, what's up? Right, what's up next? We got shit. What was it? Sound effects.
Sound effects? No. Blah blah bombs.
Performance.
That's the one.
Hey up. Next one. It's performance.
Mostly it was shit. No stars. Moving on.
Just like that.
No, I do want to have one thing to say.
Oh, okay.
And this is just about what may have been a performance. I just saw this and thought it might be interesting about maybe a performance choice. So Julie Harris, who played Eleanor, was either a dick or suffering from depression or method acting. So during shooting the film, she avoided the other performers. While the rest of the cast was hanging out, Harris would seclude herself and purposefully not talk to them. No one knew why or knew what they had done. Later on, after filming had wrapped, Harris turned up at Claire Bloom's house to explain that she just wanted to be the outsider to help her find her character, as the character was supposed to be a bit insane and separate from the other characters. It was also reported that Harris was suffering from depression, though, at the time, and would cry while her makeup was being applied before scenes. So who knows what was going on?
Oh, maybe it was Method.
I do feel like the crying before scenes could have been Method. She could have been getting herself into it.
Yeah.
If it's depression, then that sucks. I mean, obviously she was going through a shit time, which I don't like to believe. But then Method, I also feel like that's treating people like shit. To basically achieve what was in the end a shit performance anyway.
But at the time, apparently it was good. So
Yeah, maybe, yeah. So anyway, I don't know if that sways your decision at all. I don't think it will. But
no,
that's what I found. What would you say for performance?
0 nil point.
Okay, I felt like giving it. There are 5 people, aren't there?
Yes,
So I felt like giving it 1/5 for Markway.
1/5. Okay,
Yeah.
1/5. 1/5 of a star.
Yeah. Okay. What's next?
It's overall experience, isn't it?
No, you got one more. Musical score and sound effects.
Oh, okay. It's musical score and sound effects.
Well done. It was fine.
I think it was really good, actually.
Yeah.
It's got all that. It's got all that sort of stuff that you want in that type of horror film. I think when it's dark, you've got that dark type music. When it's when they're driving up, oh, it's happy. She's getting away from her sister and her dead mum. Oh, it's all happy. That kind of shit. I thought it was alright.
Yeah, it was fine. Did you have, and this is a strange question, I don't think I've asked you before about this kind of thing. Did you have a problem with sound levels? You know, sometimes you have a film that has a problem with sound levels.
Well, yeah. But
Talking
it's
was
it's
like,
an old film.
I'm gonna better, shoot better. And then there was something happening. It goes, better! And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, but that's down to our modern TVs.
Okay, fair enough. Problem
Yeah,
solved.
it's why when you watch an action, it's our flat screen TVs. Why you watch an action film, and the action's always louder than the speaking. It's because of the speakers.
Fair enough. Problem
Yeah.
solved.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I liked the score. It was fine. The choices were fine. It did feel very standard haunted house film score, especially for 1960s, but maybe it wasn't exactly standard at the time. We just feel like it is now because we've heard it a lot. Ticked all the boxes. Didn't create any more boxes to be ticked. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
fair enough. Yeah, why not?
So I am either half star or full star on musical score and sound effects. Although
I'm giving it full star.
fair enough. I have
I
one more
think
point on it actually. Robert Wise would play sound live on set as they were shooting to get real reactions from the actors.
Nice.
Created a more organic
you go.
feel, apparently. Responses from the characters helped sense the horror in their performances. Bit of this, bit of
Lovely.
that. It's alright.
Brilliant.
Where are we though, so far on the score?
2 1/5.
That's new, isn't it? They've not done that before.
Never done that before. 2 1/5. So the last one is overall experience.
So, for overall experience, it's a tough one. I was like, given the year and the other stuff that's around, and I thought, well, what other films came out this year? 1963. And I checked, and there was The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock. The
Okay.
Raven, classic.
Okay. Yeah.
Twice Told Tales, and A Comedy of Errors. So The Raven, Twice Told Tales, and A Comedy of Errors, all three which feature our Lord and Saviour, Vincent Price.
It's so tough. It's a price. It's so tough. Price.
Just found my new ringtone. Definitely go. No, it's definitely a text message alert at least. Anyway, three in a year for Vincent Price that year. And I feel out of that list. I mean, there were more, but I didn't feel like I could include them because I hadn't seen them. I've seen these films, and I know they're good. So I would go for a half for overall experience as well. If you wanted to push for a point, but I am happy to leave it at 2 1/5.
I'd leave it at 2 1/5 because if that's what you're putting it up against in that year, Birds.
The
Even
Raven.
just putting it up against Birds is
The Birds
bollocks.
and the Raven.
Like,
That's two bird-based
exactly.
films in 1 year. When does that
So
happen?
I'd just rather. Well, exactly. I'd rather just watch Birds, than The Haunting. So yeah, bollocks to it.
So that's 2 1/5.
2 1/5.
It might not be the best, but it's original.
Oh yeah. So next episode is number 30, and that means one thing: we're doing another George A. Romero classic.
Oh shit! That time
Oh
already.
yeah. And it came out in the beautiful year of 1985. Yeah, boy.
2 years before the best year ever.
Nah, you're wrong. Anyway, so we'll give you a little taster. A small group of military officers and scientists dwell in an underground bunker as the world above is overrun by zombies.
No way am I gonna miss this one.
Oh yeah, you know it. It's Day of the Dead.
Hell yeah, it is. And I cannot believe we're up to episode 30.
Yeah, we could have been at more, but never mind.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
I reckon we could have been up to episode 40 nearly by now.
Yeah, probably, or 31. 31 or 32.
Oh, yeah, probably. Anyway, Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead.
There's a bit of a leap in time, isn't there? From Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and then Day of the Dead.
Do you mean in real time?
Yeah, in the years that they were made. I can't remember the specific years. But
Yes.
Night of the Living Dead was 60s, early 60s, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then it was 70s.
Early 70s, was it?
80s. Yeah.
84.
So they're doing a decade, didn't they? One a decade.
Decade of the Dead.
Oh, fucking, you should write that down. Fucking hell, that's a fucking banger, that is. Write that down, we'll have that.
Shall I write the story for Decade of the Dead?
That's the one he missed out on.
Story told over 10 years in the noughties, starting in what year is it? 2020, when the coronavirus started, and by the middle of 2021, the first zombies started appearing, taking over the world. Mid-20s is a full-blown war. Everyone's hunkered down. Jimmy's practically coming in his pants because his dreams have come true. By the end of 1930s, he's absolutely knackered from the wankathon and decides to finally take on the zombie horde. Did I say 1930s? I meant 2030s. Unless there's time travel in this film, which will make it even better.
Well, of course. That's got to be. But yeah, that's an absolute go on. We'll have that. We'll take that for another.
Another what? Film. We'll write that film basically. We'll write that film. We'll write. Yeah. Should we do that as our? We've always been banging on about making our own horror film. We should do Decade of the Dead. Although, to be fair, have we got time to make a Decade of the Dead?
No, not really. Anyway, sorry, I blanked out there for a minute. But yeah, we should take on George A. Romero's. Grab the reins.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, he's just
and the last one and
on
go Decade of the Dead.
Foot wide dick, throwing something off to the side, and then done a fake splatter all over the camera. So yeah,
Anyway,
Day of the Dead, and then
Savagery.
and maybe we'll release Decade of the Dead one day. That's going to be great. But for now, we are done for the evening. I apologize for everything you've just had to listen to. But for now,
Booyakasha.
what?
Booyakasha.
Very nice. For now, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app, iTunes, or wherever you find your podcasts. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and email us your requests, views, opinions, crazy ramblings, and personal horror stories to the madasspodcast@outlook.com, or don't, as many of you have chosen to do so far. Jimmy and myself will see you in a fortnight for our next episode on George A. Romero's third classic of the dead, Day of the Dead.
Yeah, boy! Oh, fuck! Yes! Oh, God, yes! Yes! Oh, fuck! Yes! Oh, God, yes! Yes! Oh, fuck! Yes! Oh, God, yes! Yes!